Hello everyone. So this is the first of the many videos that I'm going to be uploading here on YouTube on mostly about GIS. And on this first video, this is a try video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of geocoding. We have some data here that's in CSV file, and then we're going to turn those into shapefile, point shapefile. And since this is the first video, I hope you guys like it. If you could please leave comments and say what is it that you like about it and what is it that you don't like about it, that so that I can do my best to improve the videos. Coding is just turning addresses into points, into shapefile points. So for example, we have these addresses here that we're going to turn into shapefile points, and these are in just to give you like a general idea where we are. These are somewhere here just east of downtown Houston, the area called Channelview, Houston area. And geocoding is a multi-step process in that you need to create what's called address locator first before you can actually do the geocoding. And to create the address locator, you need the reference the reference layer that you're going to be using for that. And the reference layer, because we are in Houston, Harris County, this is what I used. I used the line edges layer for reference, and this one I got from the US Census website. They have very good shapefile there. So I went to this website right here. It says US Census.gov, and then you can select line. Of course, you can pick your state, and what kind of layers that you what kind of layer that you need to select. So I went to all layers right here, and of course I picked state of Texas and county of Harris right here, and that's where I got this layer from. And if you look at this layer, the attributes of this layer, we can see it has the full name for the address, and then of course it has the left from and left to, and then it has the right from and the right to. This is very important because when we're doing the address locator, what we're going to select is this right here. That's called the dual address range. So the dual range for it looks on both sides of the road. It looks on the right side and on the left side. And then so you select this one right here, the dual range, and it's gonna give you like this right here, the error. And this error is because there's no there's some fields that are required, and it doesn't see any of this right here, but it's asking us for the reference data. And this is where we're going to select the reference data that we're going to use for the to generate the address locator right here. Well, you'll see that when we select this the reference layer, it's going to fill out some of these fields that the names match with what we have on the reference layer, or on the reference layer right here. So for example, the from left and to left and the from right to right are going to be filled out automatically because they're already there, and this one kind of sees that. So for example, if we do this, see like some of these are already filled out. So we have the from left, it understands the LT to the L2, and the from left from address and then of course to right and from right address, those all filled out, but we're still showing an error here. It's because there are some of the required fields right here that are not filled out. They are not filled out. So for example, this right here, the street name, it's a required field, but there's nothing on here. And if we go again back and look at our attribute table right here, the reason it didn't pick it up is because this one is called it full name, not street name. So if we're going to change this from, are we going to add this one right here into full name, it should go away. Yeah, there it is, it's gone away. And then of course we're just gonna ask, it's gonna ask you where do you want to save the address located that's going to be generated from here. You can say I don't know, you can save it anywhere you want, right? It doesn't matter really. Let's call it Paris locator. We're gonna save it here, and then it's gonna be working on it right here, and it's gonna take a minute. All right, so now that we have the address locator created, now we're gonna go to the second step of geocoding, which is the actual geocoding process. And we're gonna look for a geocoding tool right here, and we're gonna geocode the address. It's gonna ask us, so this is the locator that we just created, because it was saved in the same folder that it was saved in a folder that this the tool looked into. It already added it up here. We didn't even have to add it, because we would have to add it to use it. I mean, that's the reason we created. We have to. This is what we're going to use to geocode the address. But it looked in there and it found it and it added up already, so we don't have to do that process right anyway. So we're going to use this. Tell it okay, and it's going to ask us for the file that we're gonna use. So these are just random addresses that I got online. These are from restaurants inspection. You can get addresses in so many ways. You can get addresses online. You can scrape them. You can buy them. You can input them manually, depending on what is it that you're trying to geocode. So it's going to ask us for the file that we want to use, and this is where I have the file right here. This file is in CSV, by the way. So, and if you look at it, so we have it. We have the name, we have addresses, we have city and zip code, and when we input it there, it looked at it and it picked up the field for address for the street intersection as the address field, and the zip code, of course, for the zip code field. We're not going to change anything on here, and of course, yes, we want to create a static snapshot of it right here. And of course, it's asking you where do you want to save it, and of course, you can name it. We're going to call it Channelville. We're going to call it Channelville, and of course, it's going to make it Shapefile right here. So I'm going to save it there, and of course, we're going to go ahead and tell it to go ahead and geocode it, and it's going to run. And you can see that it did 88% of the address were correctly matched, but 12%, 4 of those were not correctly matched. So what we can do like the rematch to see why where this not rematched. And one of the things that I can think of right on top of my head is usually the incorrect spelling. So if we zoom to this, zoom to this area where this the matchings are, We can change, maybe we can change the color of this right here. Make them red, maybe a little bit, make them stand out. So these are addresses that were matched, and we have some that were not matched. So we're trying to see why were these not matched, and it's showing you right here the addresses that were not matched. They are along I-10. So this I-10, don't need this anymore. So this is Interstate 10, in the Interstate Highway 10 right here. And one of the things that you can look at the to see is matching the ones that were looking at the ones that were matched and see how the addresses. So for example, this one was matched, and the address on here it says East Freeway. It doesn't say I-10. So, and the ones that were not matched, they also have the word I-10. So see, this one says I-10, this one says I-10, and this one says I-10. So something is wrong in the spelling of these addresses. The other way, the other way to know that there's something wrong with the spelling of this, you can use this tool right here. It's called the address inspector. And I'm going to take this off, right? So when you use this address inspector and press to the left click and drag it along the street, it's going to show you the addresses. So the way the addresses are named. So for example, this one is showing the address right here, there is 16245 East Freeway. It doesn't say I-10. So anywhere on here along I-10, it doesn't say I-10, it says East Freeway. So that's how you know that this is how it's supposed to be spelled and not I-10. So what you can do, you can go back here and go data and go to review and rematch. And of course, so what we can do, for example, this one right here, instead of saying I-10, we can try and say, let's try East Freeway. And if it's correct, it's going to give you like the candidates right here. So right here. So see, it gave us the possible matches, and this one has score of 100. So this is the correct address right here. Another way, so this one right here, if we take this one out and leave the address and just input East Freeway and press enter, it's going to give you the the candidate right there. So what you need to do, just pick this one right here and match it. Change this into East Freeway. So we're going to pick this one right here and say match this one right here, and do that for this as well. Freeway, press enter, take this and match. And the last one is right here. Take this off, press enter, match. And now we have all these right here. We have all the addresses and the points. Use the match address. There we have It's too small, but you get the idea. Cool. So these are addresses, address points that we got by geocoding these addresses from our CSV file.